So it's safe to say I'm a fan of the Total War Warhammer world. I recently checked my hours played on Steam and didn't realize I was 800 hours deep in the game a few months after buying the game. The lore, characters, and the game itself are amazing. When I discovered the game, I had absolutely no interest in RTS games at all. Growing up, I spent most of my time playing MMOs, specifically a game called DC Universe Online. Let me know in the comments if you guys have even heard the game or even have played it before. So I naturally leaned to liking the evil factions in the game. The Dark Elves, the Skaven, and the Vampire Counts are my top 3 factions to me personally. Now, given that information I'm going to tell you, I despise the Order Tide with all my being. Now, I'm one of those people whose brains is wired differently to where the absolute ridiculousness of a legendary campaign with a very hard battle difficulty is how I choose to play the game. In my experience, I have never played a single campaign without the Order Tide absolutely decimating me. Specifically Reichland with Karl Franz and his stupid hammer leading the destruction of my campaign about 95% of the time. I had a solid 700 hours of failures across the evil factions in the game. So in a nerd rage, I said to myself, if you can't beat them, join them. So I played good old Balthazar Gelt. Immediately at the Lord Select screen, I looked at the little cinematic he has and felt like I was betraying my brethren. 176 turns later, I won my first campaign and I sat in disbelief. The entire campaign was just defeating the Greenskins of the South and holding back the vampires. In the process of the campaign, every single province I got was through random Imperial Authority checks to confederate other Empire factions nearby. I even took a video on my phone to show the person who introduced me to the game that after nearly 800 hours, I finally won my first campaign. 800 hours of getting wrecked by the Order Tide, and I still find myself starting new campaigns and facing their endless bombardment of rockets. What an amazing game, truly. I have never encountered a game where failure is this addictive before. Each time I lose a campaign, I'm still learning stuff from it months later after buying the game. Kinda crazy that my first RTS experience ever was this game. I was even hesitant to buy the game in the first place. The themes of the factions, the lores of magic, the different playstyles are all so good in their unique way and could easily get any RTS fan hooked to playing the game as much as possible. If you haven't played an RTS game and are looking to try it, take it from me, a guy who didn't have any RTS experience before this, you'll get hooked. One thing I do wish for the third game though is that they make the game a lot less predictable, because putting in any amount of time in the game, you more or less learn which factions will make it to the end game and which ones just get washed away. So I know some of you are super mastermind strategists and cheese gods. I'm just telling the tale of my Warhammer 2 story. I'll be streaming the game a lot on Twitch and I'm super hyped for the third game. The link will be in the description for those of you who would like to see me fail in nerd rage, or the master generals out there who would like to give me tips on how to play the factions. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. Peace.